Hi everyone! In linguistics there are a lot of theories, like in any scientific field, and today we're gonna talk about one of these theories, the Diné-Yenissean theory. The Diné-Yenissean theory is a language family theory saying that the non-Diné languages spoken in North America are related to the Yenissean languages spoken in North Asia. It's probably the most plausible theory among the ones grouping several language families into a larger one. The theory is interesting because it would demonstrate a linguistic connection between the Old World and the New World. The first one to propose this theory was an Italian linguist named Alfredo Trombetti in the 1920s, then many talked about it since, but it still remains a hypothesis till today. But first, what are non-Diné languages and what are Yenissean languages? The non-Diné languages are a family of languages spoken in North America. It mostly consists of Athabascan languages spoken across Alaska, Western Canada, and as far as the US Southwest, such as Navajo and Apache. The non-Diné family also includes Iyak, which is now extinct, and Tlingit, spoken only by a few hundred people. Now on the other part of the globe, the Yenisei languages form a small language family once spoken along the Yenisei River in central Siberia. Today the only surviving member is Kit, spoken by just a few hundred people in the Krasnoyarsk region. In earlier centuries, several other Yeniseian languages were documented, including Yug, Kot, Arin, and Pumpokol, but all of these are extinct now. According to some researchers, the language spoken by the Han people, like Attila and stuff, may or may not have been a Yeniseian language. A similar theory exists for the elites of the Xiongnu Confederation, and thus the word can, maybe, or maybe not, is originally a Yeniseian word, but absolutely nothing is sure about it. Most linguists agree that the non-Diné family split into multiple languages must have happened around 6,000 years ago, but some argue it happened much earlier, as much as 10,000 years ago or even more. To give you an idea of what it represents, the Indo-European languages probably diverged about 5,000 years ago. It's approximately the same date for Austronesian languages and also for Semitic languages or even Uralic languages. Now let's talk about some of the arguments in favor of the theory. The main similarities between languages of the two families are grammatical ones, with only a very small list of proposed similar words between the two families. Here you can see some vocabulary cognate hypotheses made by linguists. Read it on the screen because I have no idea how to pronounce it. Nevertheless, let's have some nuance here. First, when you compare two languages, whatever they can be, you'll always find some words with similar sounds and meanings, without necessarily having the same origin. Always. Then, I've shown you some examples with close meaning, but in the proposed cognates, many of the word pairs have different meaning. For example, there is one comparing handle and kettle, and another one comparing fire and day. Also, some of the words used as evidence might actually be loanwords from other language families in the area, like Uralic for the Yeniseian languages, so not inherited from a common ancestor. The grammatical similarities could also be due to independent processes. Two unrelated languages that tend to evolve in a similar way grammatically is not something that uncommon in linguistics. Another evidence was brought, but not a linguistic one. This evidence is genetics. Many language enthusiasts already are big haplogroup nerds, but for people who don't know, the Y-DNA haplogroup is like a branch in the family tree of human fathers. It comes from the Y chromosome, which only men have and pass from father to son. Over thousands of years, tiny DNA mutations created different branches. Each haplogroup shows deep ancestry, where your father's 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 line came from long ago. For example, if your Y haplogroup is R1b, it means your paternal line goes back to men who lived in Europe thousands of years ago. Now what's the connection with the Diné-Yenissean theory? Well, the link is that there is a haplogroup subclade called the Q1 haplogroup, which appeared around 15,000 years ago. This haplogroup is found in nearly all Native Americans, but what's interesting is that it's also found in the DNA of almost all Ket people, whom speak a Yeniseian language. Nevertheless, haplogroups are not a sufficient proof, as it is not enough to explain languages' evolutions. It can only eventually help to understand better connections that have already been proven. Moreover, other fields like archaeological studies or studies concerning folklore and traditions have not found yet a clear connection between Yeniseian and non-Diné peoples. Now, whether you agree with this theory or not is part of the dichotomy in linguistics between two extremes. On one side, those who want to group families together as much as possible, even when there aren't enough proofs, and on the other side, those who discourage language grouping researches when they're not backed by a bunch of clear evidences, as clear as Spanish and Italian are related. With some people being in the two extremes at the same time, like some people defending the Euralo-Altaic theory while rejecting the Indo-European one. The good thing is to be somewhere in the happy medium. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, leave a like and subscribe, and also leave a comment to support the channel. See ya!